The paranormal side of YouTube is a very, very fickle place. You've got the hardcore believers, you've got the hardcore disbelievers, and then there's a bit of a grey area in between where some people want to believe but don't believe, and want to watch stuff on YouTube for the sake of believing but want to watch it for entertainment. It's a very fickle place. You can't say for certain who's real, who's fake anymore. But there are the people out there who are trying to prove the paranormal, right? You've got the likes of Twin Paranormal and Sam and Colby, who go out every week and make videos for entertainment and also to try and prove that the paranormal's real. You've got the likes of the debunking community who go out there and watch Twin Paranormal and Sam and Colby and say, no, this is not real because of X, Y, and Z. And it becomes a bit of a turf warfare kind of situation. But you may remember one person in particular who goes by the name of Angry Casian. Now, Angry Casian was a very controversial person because he would make videos asking, is so-and-so fake? Alright, so is Proving Demons fake? Is Paranormal Nightmare TV fake? Is Adam Mark Explores fake? Are the Ouija Brothers fake? All the rest of it, right? And instead of kind of giving a detailed analysis and breakdown on why so-and-so might be fake for X, Y, and Z reasons, instead, Angry Casian would watch a clip, go fake, hit the next button, and then watch it fake, hit the next button, fake, hit the next button, without any explanation, rhyme, or reason as to why the person may actually have faked that piece of evidence. And they started to catch a lot of flack, especially as they seem to go particularly hard at female paranormal investigators. The likes of Mackie and Amanda, the likes of Selena Spooky Boo, the likes of Call Me Chris, Ghost Club Paranormal, right? They were incredibly toxic towards female creators, and they were vile. And I've seen some vile things online, but this person was incredibly misogynistic, was even fat-shamed Selena Spooky Boo at one point, which is absolutely despicable behaviour, all in the name of trying to debunk the paranormal. And then, he got called out by a bunch of paranormal debunkers and made a video titled, Let's clear some stuff up again. I'm not a debunker, even though his work online is to debunk paranormal videos or claim something is real or fake, which, in many people's minds labels you as a debunker. But he's like, no, I don't want to be a part of the debunking community. They're toxic, even though he, in his own right, is toxic as sin, right? He was the most toxic creator I think I'd ever seen on the platform at one point or another. And he kept up this theme of, is da-da-da fake, is this fake, is that fake, are these people fake, are they fake? And then suddenly it all kind of slowed down. And about 6 months ago, they stopped making, is this person fake videos? They went on to a UFO topic. Then they went on to YouTube is mad at me. UFO topic. Twin Paranormal. Is this fake, is that fake? And then suddenly there was a weird shift in narrative. Apparently, they've now got a haunted ranch, similarly to that of CJ Fasion, who they just recently reacted to. Then all of a sudden, they've got this stuff. They've got portals coming out of everywhere, they got taps, they got bangs, they got noises, they got voices, and all the rest of it. And suddenly the internet was like, the fuck is this? You've spent the past 3 years on your channel being toxic as sin and stating that you absolutely despise the fake paranormal, to then go on and start making fake paranormal videos. Make it make sense, ladies and gentlemen. Make it make sense. Even in his description of his channel, I'm just a paranormal investigator, ghost hunter that is sick of all the fake on here, YouTube. Fake paranormal is fake videos that make us real investigators look bad. We are not all liars, fakers, scammers. Most of us care about the real and are sick of being made fun of. And then you've got these 8 videos here. Now you might say to me, Ben, how do you know that these are fake? I've not really delved into them, so I don't know. But there are a handful of debunking channels that have looked into this. One of which being the Side-Eye guy. Nope, that's the wrong debunker. The Shape, the guy that wears the hockey mask. And he made a video, Haunted by Artificial Intelligence, the Angry Casian, in which they go on to kind of talk about the Angry Casian. But the Angry Casian, before we give into the video, I do need to give a little bit of context, and in the in the, you know, want of fairness, I suppose, they go on to talk about why they're so haunted. All right, and this is the reason that they gave.
Here lately, I've been catching way more voices and shit than I really want to, and I'm just being honest, okay? And of course, we'll talk about the other stuff in just a minute, but so I had a conversation with a bunch of colleagues of mine that were out here on the ranch that, well, they're not catching anything. Not like the stuff that I'm catching. Now, I will be honest, we went out back and they caught stuff with me. So, but anyway, these colleagues of mine have a kind of a strange theory. And I kind of wanted to get your thoughts on it.
Now, straight off the bat, obviously, it's a bit odd, right? That, you know, Angry Casian's catching loads of stuff, and then he brings colleagues in who capture absolutely nothing. Instantly, ding, red flag goes up.
Their theory is the reason why I'm catching more right now is because I was very sick not that long ago and died a couple times and was really close to not making it. So
now, obviously, that's horrific, and I do hope that you get better soon, right? But at the same time, how do you die a couple of times and then almost not make it? Do you know what I mean? Like, obviously, it's a hyperbole. It's a play on, like, the narrative to be quite dramatic and all the rest of it. I do get that, you know, people do that all the time. You can feel like death, but I don't know how you die a couple of times and then almost not make it. Do you know what I mean? I do hope, though, that any medical concerns are, like, cleared up now and you're feeling better. I'm not a dick, as much as people like to think I am.
So their theory is that because of that, the veil is thinner around me. Okay? Which, not gonna lie to you, slightly makes me a little nervous. Okay? Because what am I, about to fucking die? Like, it's
Now, I'm not gonna beat around the bush here. Obviously, you know, I'm quite open about the content that I've made in the past. This is the kind of narrative that I would have created to make that content plausible, you know? Like, you create a narrative to kind of explain a haunting. Really Haunted does it. Smug Puppy does it. You know, these people that have haunted houses, right? They create these narratives to make the situation plausible, to make it understandable, to make it like you've got a reason for these things happening, okay? Angry Casian says that he died a couple of times and almost didn't make it, and now they're close to the veil, and that's why there's loads of haunted stuff around him. But cue in the debunking community who have had their 10 pence worth with regards to this. Now, everyone's on the same page about Bayou, who is Angry Casian, about Bayou's behaviour. Now, Bayou's behaviour is toxic as anything. I don't think I've ever seen a creator more toxic than Bayou in my entire life. Alright, he was vile at points towards creators, and it was horrendous, right? Now, The Shape, like I say, chimed in and made a recent video where he claims to own a quote-unquote haunted forest ranch and experiences paranormal activity like cameras failing and hearing voices. Now, The Shape tries his best to point out the hypocrisies as Bayou criticizes those for faking while his own content appears to be staged, and it's got to be said that it appears to be staged. Now, the points that The Shape brings forward for the fake evidence is AI voices. So The Shape notes that Bayou's use of AI-generated voices, for example, a female voice saying, "help us," or "you're mine now," that sound unconvincing and lack emotional urgency. And they highlight a critical moment where Bayou reacts to a voice before it even plays, suggesting it was overlaid in post-production. In one instance, Bayou even forgets to add the voice entirely, reacting to absolutely nothing. Which is quite comical, I must say. And then there's the sound effects. So The Shape also identifies knocking and scratching sounds in Bayou's video as likely to be overlaid, as they occur conveniently when Bayou pauses in his speech. And, you know, this does suggest that these could be easily faked with basic editing skills, possibly by someone ducking below a possible window. And then there's a comparison to AI samples. So The Shape also plays a clip of an AI Midwestern accent that closely resembles the voice in Bayou's video, reinforcing an argument that Bayou may potentially use artificial audio and overlay it within his video. So, it's quite comical. It is quite, like, some rookie errors, potentially, that may give the game away. But Bayou's behaviour and presentation is also criticised. As, Bayou portrays being a larger production than he actually is, claiming he has editors and producers who lightly edits his videos, and, obviously then goes on to talk about owning a motorcycle, tools, and high-quality cameras, questioning whether he can, owns the workshop that he films in. Now, the hypocrisy and lack of humility as well. So the Shape calls Bayou hypocritical for condemning other paranormal investigators as fake while faking his own evidence, potentially. And they note his attempt at humility to admitting his mistakes seems insincere, as his reactions are supposed paranormal events are exaggerated or even poorly timed. So you can see where the hypocrisy comes in, where the double standards come in, and where, people are kind of looking at this content and being like, how can you go on 3 years of basically harassing these paranormal YouTube channels, calling them fake, and even going as far as to attack them physically, for their appearances, and also for their gender at times, when you're just going to turn around and do the exact same thing? It's very odd. Very, very odd. Let me know what you guys think about this. Obviously, the Angry Casian is one of those people who... It's just one of those people. That's all we have to say about it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Way down there, jump together, hell out of the like button and subscribe. And until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.